is Lisa Reyes with the Trauma Informed Systems Initiative and fellow meditators with you all today. So what I thought I would do today is to offer a tool that is very helpful if you're feeling triggered or dysregulated, and then share a little story about that tool, and then end with a sit practice, or do a sit practice and then end with, I like to open it up to see if anyone has any comments or stories or any, gratitudes to share or shout outs at the end. So this tool that I'm going to share with you is helpful if you are feeling triggered in any way, if you are feeling dysregulated in any way, if you are feeling angry, if you are feeling out of body, perhaps you are maybe about to do some compulsive online shopping, or whatever it is that you may be feeling. I know I've done quite a bit of that lately. So this tool would have been helpful for me before I went on to Amazon, but the stuff has arrived, so now I got to keep it in some ways, perhaps. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and share this tool. It's from our Search Inside Yourself 1 and 2 day class, and it's stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. So what we know about our brain is that when we are triggered, the part of our brain that is involved in reasoning or logic reasoning or reacting calmly is not accessible to us when we are triggered. What part of our brain is actually turned on is our amygdala, which is our emotional part of our brain. It's where our emotions live. It's a nonverbal part of our brain, and that part of our brain takes over, and it makes it hard to then make the next right decision and the next right action. This tool helps us get out of kind of the amygdala and back into our more thinking, feeling part of our brain, so that we can make the next right action and do the next right action. So the S is for stopping. And that is whenever you're feeling triggered, and this is probably one of the most important ones, is to just stop and not react for just one moment, right? So this is known as the sacred pause, just stopping. And if you only do this one step, it's, you're already 90% there. The next step is to breathe and focusing on the breath for just a few breaths, right? That reconnects us to that part of our brain that is not accessible to us when we're triggered, right? So the breath helps metabolize the stress, and it calms the body and the mind. The next part is to notice and experience your emotion and what that emotion is bringing to your body and where it's living in your body. And then applying mindfulness, like, okay, I feel it in my chest, or I feel it in my jaws. My jaws are getting tense. The next step is to reflect, like where is this emotion coming from? Is there history behind it? Sometimes when I'm feeling triggered, I often ask myself, how old are you right now, Lisa? Are you, the 48-year-old woman that you are right now? Or are you the scared 11-year-old? And often I am 11 at that moment emotionally. I'm going back to something way back in my history that is triggering me. And then the last step is to respond. And what we've learned with mindfulness is sometimes the best response is no response. Or I always tell myself, how can I respond kindly or without doing any harm? Is the other thing I try to practice. So this is the tool that I find really helpful. Stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. I have used it a lot with family dynamics and different events that have happened in my life. And it has saved me from saying horrible things. It has saved me from fights and from lashing out at people or responding by email really negatively, to just stop, breathe, notice, reflect, and respond. So I hope you will find this helpful. If you'd like, you can jot it down, or we can always try to email a picture of this slide to you as well. If you'd like an email of it, you can always just put your email in the chat box, and we're happy to share it with you. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and then guide you guys through a sit practice. So if you can find a way to sit that is comfortable to you, I'm going to do this sit practice to just kind of be a grounding practice, to just kind of be present in our body. So I'll ring the bell once at the beginning and 3 times at the end. So allowing your eyes to close or to soften your gaze, whatever feels best to you. Taking 3 deep breaths with an audible exhale to just kind of center and calm the body and the mind. Just letting it all go. And just finding your natural rhythmic breath. And using your breath as an anchor. Following your breath in. Seeing how that feels and where it feels most alive. The pause in between. And then the exhale. Just noticing where it resides more heavily in your body, the breath. Or as I called it earlier, the sacred pause. And then with the next breath, I'd like to invite you in, lower down from your breath into your whole body. And just notice how it feels to be present in your body. If you'd like to use a body sensation or a body part to anchor you, you can do that as well. It might be noticing how your bottom feels on your chair, or how your feet feel touching the ground, or where your tongue is resting. Is it on the roof of your mouth, or is it resting on the lower part of your mouth? So often we find ways to escape inhabiting our body or living in our body. We become so busy with doing that we forget what it feels like just to be present with ourselves, with our thoughts, perhaps, our emotions, and our body. Notice an ache or pain. Don't try to run from it, just be with it. Be with the soreness if you feel sore. Tiredness if you feel tired. A warmth or a tingly sensation, whatever it may be. Just allow it in and embrace it. With the next inhale, see if you can bring a little smile to the ends of your lips. And although your eyes are closed, with the next inhale, see if you can bring a little twinkle, a little happiness to your eyes. With the next inhale, if you can smile with your heart, what would that feel like? Smiling with your lips, your eyes, and your heart. And lastly, if you could smile with your whole body, how would that feel? Or what does that feel like? Just sitting here with a full body smile for just a few moments more. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return your attention to space.